Let me pull up the facts. Fast fashion is the second biggest consumer of water and responsible for about 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. 85% of all textiles go to dumps each year. Even washing clothes releases 500,000 tons of microfibers into the ocean each year, the equivalent of 50 billion plastic bottles. If you do your laundry, you fucking pollute the planet. The fashion industry is the second largest consumer of water among industries, requiring about 700 gallons to produce one cotton shirt and 2,000 gallons of water to produce a pair of jeans. If you own jeans, you pollute the planet. Furthermore, brands use synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon, and acrylic, which take hundreds of years to biodegrade. Oh, you want to be goth so fucking bad? Wear your little chiffon skirt that's never gonna degrade in the landfill it'll end up in, and you want to be goth so fucking bad. What good are you doing? Additionally, cotton, which is in a large amount of fast fashion products, is also not environmentally friendly to manufacture. Pesticides deemed necessary for the growth of cotton present health risks to farmers. So now you're polluting the planet, you're voting for slave labor, and you're killing farmers. Congratulations, you're fucking goth now. Since you want to talk about fashion, let's talk about all the products you use. Let's talk about the jewelry you have. The environmental impact of jewelry begins with the extraction of raw materials. Precious metals like gold and silver and gemstones, such as diamonds, emeralds, and rubies, are mined from the earth. Mining operations, especially those that are not regulated or poorly managed, can cause significant environmental damage. There's habitat destruction, water pollution, carbon emissions, energy consumption, waste generation, worker health and safety, transportation and packaging, the carbon footprint, and the packaging waste. I bet you didn't think about that. It doesn't matter what fucking jewelry you're wearing, it all adds to global emissions, pollution. We're all killing the planet. We're all fucking doing it. We are all doing it. You want to be on your high horse about how, oh, I don't shop at fast fashion? Congratulations. You want a medal? Oh my god. Okay, since you don't shop at fast fashion, I bet you have hairspray because you're goth. Oh, because you're so fucking goth, I bet you have hairspray, don't you? Okay, aerosol hairsprays are potent contributors to climate change and ozone depletion, and the non biodegradable packaging, often made from plastic and metal, exacerbates waste management issues and poses risk to wildlife. It pollutes the air, and the factories use extensive amounts of water and electricity to operate. So not only you're polluting the air, also water. You are killing the planet because you want your hair so fucking big. Because you're so fucking goth. You can't live without your hairspray. What about the eyeliner, the makeup on your face? That you never thought about that and how that's killing the fucking planet. No, you just want to hop on the trend and hate on what's popular to fucking hate on, what's digestible to hate on, instead of actually doing good and actually changing your whole fucking lifestyle because you want to be God so fucking bad because you want to save the planet, right? But you don't want to give away what you don't want to give away. You want other people to do what you say to do because you think you're so morally superior because you don't shop fast fashion. Congratulations. I don't have $200 to spend on a leather jacket. Nowhere by me even makes that. There is no fucking store that makes what I want to buy. I have to get it delivered to me, which means I am contributing to pollution because of the packaging. You have to think about this. One cardboard box, how many trees go into that? The ink that is on the label on the box, how many trees go into that? The plastic, the paper, the tape, the fucking truck, the materials to build the truck, the gas that goes inside the truck, the mechanic shop that is required to fix the truck, all the tools that are made to maintain those trucks, or the planes or the boats that send us packages to our doorstep because there are no fucking local shops that make specialty items, and because we're so fucking greedy and we're so focused on convenience. Oh, but you want to talk about fast fashion because that's the only thing that matters, because that's the only issue, because that's the only thing that stops people from being goth or not. Right. Okay, well then let's talk about your fucking eyeliner. Many makeup products contain microplastics, synthetic chemicals, and non-biodegradable materials that can harm aquatic ecosystems and wildlife, even when washed into waterways. The excessive use of single use plastic in packaging exacerbates the global plastic waste crisis. The production process itself often involves energy intensive methods and creates greenhouse gas emissions, further contributing to climate change. You want to be goth so fucking bad. You want to paint your face white and black because that's so goth of you. You are hurting the planet. You are destroying the planet. And you want to get on your fucking high horse. Act like you're fucking God because you don't shop fast fashion. Well, everything else you do destroys the planet. So how are you better? Like, genuinely tell me, how are you better because you don't shop at H&M? Like, what are you actually doing to prevent global warming? What are you actually doing to stop the spread of all the different ways we pollute the planet? Like, what are you actually doing? If you want to gatekeep being alternative and goth, I need you to fucking prove it. I need you to fucking prove that you are the example. I need you to prove that you're the example by telling me every single fucking thing that you don't buy and that you do buy. But the thing is, even if you use currency, oh my God, you dumb bitch. Even currency being involved in the economy, do you know how much waste is generated by printing currency? All the materials that are required to even print currency and the metal, where do they get those materials? What do you think money is made of, you dumb fucking cunt? Using money contributes to climate change. You want to be God so fucking bad. You want to be on your dumb little high horse. Act like you are better than everyone else because you don't shop fast fashion. Okay, great. Don't fucking buy fast fashion. But tell me, pray tell, what are you doing to fix the planet? If you still eat fast food, oh, you're not goth. If you still support fucking gas stations, if you still buy gas, if you own a car or a bicycle, or if you go on public transportation, you are involved in polluting the planet. You're involved in it. Oh, but because your fucking argument for not shopping fast fashion is the slave labor and the environmental damage. So I'm telling you, all the things that damage the environment, since you care so fucking bad, since you care so fucking bad about the environment, how many cigarettes did you smoke today? Right, right. Oh, but you're goth and I'm not? Interesting. Okay, interesting. Interesting. And what about hair dye? Because you care so much about the environment, right? Dye is just chemicals, and you're putting that down our waterways because you care about the environment so fucking bad. You care so much. You dye your hair every single month. Oh, but you care about the environment. Right. Okay. If you care about the environment so bad, you probably don't wear shoes, right? Oh, you wear shoes. Well, footwear is responsible for 1.4% of global manufacturing carbon emissions, with a single pair of leather shoes generating about 14.6 kilograms of carbon. So, a single pair of shoes, how many do you have? Hmm, interesting. But you care about the environment so fucking bad, right? Right. From the extraction of raw materials to manufacturing and disposal, the footwear industry leaves a considerable carbon footprint. Water pollution, toxic chemicals used, and waste generations are just a few of the pressing issues. Synthetic materials like polyester and nylon are common in footwear. These materials are made of petroleum based products, meaning gas. Their production involves energy intensive processes. Synthetic materials also have a significant environmental impact. Producing synthetic materials releases greenhouse gases. It also consumes non renewable resources. Disposal of synthetic shoes is another issue. They're not biodegradable and can take hundreds of years to decompose. This contributes to landfill waste and pollution. If you own fucking shoes, get off your high horse. Literally, you guys, putting other people down is not going to solve anything. Telling people that they should be ashamed of themselves is not going to solve anything. dividing us is not going to solve anything. Acting like you're better than someone because you make different choices is not going to solve anything. If you genuinely cared about the environment and about the future generations, about the ways we've impacted our planet, if you genuinely cared about any of that and didn't just say this bullshit online for clout to make you look like a goth baddie, if you genuinely fucking cared, you would not be using any of this. You would be growing your own fucking cotton, growing your own food, fully running on solar, which by the way still pollutes the planet, fully collecting your own rainwater, never using grid electricity at all, composting your own shit, putting that shit in your garden. You would be owning land and having a farm and never driving anywhere ever. The only means of transportation that are actually eco-friendly is walking or an animal that can carry weight. So unless you're doing that, unless you're living the lifestyle of an Amish or a monk or an off-grid hippie in the woods, I don't think you can really preach about what's good for the planet when everything you consume and everything you do and everywhere you go and everyone you meet is actively part of our society. We're all destroying it, by the way. We are all destroying it. No one is better than each other if we're all actively destroying it. If you want to educate people, then fucking tell them where they should be shopping instead. And if that's not accessible to them, then stop judging them for shopping at places that they can only afford. Because then it's about wealth. Then it's about accessibility. Then it's about you're shaming them for having a different hand. They were dealt a different hand than you. Now you want to flaunt your privilege and act like you're better than people because you have $200 for a pair of real leather pants, which by the way just killed an animal. You want to talk about fast fashion so fucking bad, why are you buying real leather in the first place? And then here's the thing, here's the kicker. Even if I did shop locally, even if I found a perfect thing from a local thrift store near me, which by the way I do fucking thrift, but even if I did, who's to say that me paying for that, keeping that thrift store alive, that means the people there have jobs. Well, the people there, they might go shop on Amazon. They might go spend $200 on Shein. They might go vote for some conservative official. Who's to say that even though I'm supporting these local businesses, who's to say that they're good people? Who's to say that they don't have a shoe addiction and then just throw them all away? Who's to say that they don't kill animals for fun? Who's to say that they're not a serial rapist? Who's to say that they're not abusing their children? Who's to say? Who's to say that they're even good fucking people just because they're local? Food for thought. Food for thought. Let's talk about leather. Leather is a popular material in shoe production, among other things, purses, bags, hats, pants, whatever. It's durable and flexible, but it has a significant environmental impact. Leather production involves several steps. These include rearing livestock, processing hides, and tanning. Each step has its own environmental footprint. The livestock rearing process contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. It uses a large amount of water and land. The tanning process uses chemicals that pollute water sources. These chemicals include chromium and other heavy metals. Tanning also produces solid waste that is difficult to manage. You want to be alternative so fucking bad, you need a real leather jacket, right? Well, that leather jacket just polluted the planet, and I don't give a fuck if you drifted that shit, because at one point someone did buy it originally. So that's the thing. That's the fucking thing. We do what we can, we get what we can, and we do our fucking best. You cannot act like you've never destroyed the planet. You genuinely, if you live on the planet, you at one point polluted it. You at one point harmed it. You at one point killed something somewhere, even if you don't even know. You existing is going to naturally destroy things because of the world we've built. People want to talk about, oh, well, it's not like in the 80s when people were really goth. They didn't have cell phones. You realize that, right? They couldn't shop online and scroll on their phone. TikTok wasn't invented to become addictive to our brains and kill our attention spans and think that we need things instantly. We didn't have instant gratification. Human nature didn't change. Our access to things changed. Human nature did not change. You want to talk about, oh, it was so much better back in the day. Some things were, some things were not. We've come a long way and we all need to do our part. But the thing is, you're using past standards for a current situation. We have to be modernly goth, modernly alternative. If that means getting fishnets at CVS and ripping them up to create my own shirt for $5 instead of buying that shit for $20 on some goth website, yeah, I'm gonna fucking shop at CVS. And fuck you for thinking I should do any differently because I can't afford that. It's either I eat or I get new clothes. Girl, I can't do both. Okay? So we have to make do because this is a reminder. I am not the enemy. You are not the enemy. The enemy is the large corporations that feed on our greed. But again, it's our greed. So we agree that we should be doing our part. But you do not get to say who is and isn't alternative just because they might have shopped somewhere 3 years ago. I want you to really, really take a hard look at yourself and ask yourself what in your house is biodegradable? Ooh, what in your apartment or your car or your whatever the fuck? What do you own that's actually biodegradable? What? Nothing. Literally nothing. So you're trying to act like you care so much about the environment. What are you doing to protect it? What are you doing? Oh, since you care so fucking bad, what are you doing to protect the environment? What are you doing to reverse global warming? What are you doing to get involved in your local politics and actually make change? You want to be goth so fucking bad, okay, then do it. And if you can't back it up, then shut the fuck up and sit down and let me teach you something. Maybe stop bashing others because you think you're so much better than them and you're fucking not. You're not. If you use social media, if you use TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, if you have a phone, if you have electronic devices, matter of fact, if you have batteries in your house, in your toothbrush, your vibrator, your TV remote, oh, you have a TV? What does that run on? Anything with batteries, literally everything, all the electronics we have. The phone that's glued to your hand 24 fucking 7. You care about the environment so fucking much, that's why you have an iPhone. Right. And how was that made? Oh, yeah, slave labor. Right. Say it with me now. You voted for that with your money. The same money that pollutes the planet to make, by the way. The only people who are actually alternative and actually living an alternate lifestyle are the ones who don't have money, who don't have objects, who don't have ego, who don't contribute to waste, who fully recycle everything and fully make every single item by hand with natural materials that already grow. I'm talking mud, I'm talking trees, I'm talking plants, I'm talking local water. If you are using anything synthetic, you are not truly alternative by your definition. By your definition, mind you. You want to talk about, oh, you can't be goth if you contribute to global pollution. Everyone contributes to global pollution. Every single fucking human on our planet contributes, except for the ones who are fully off grid. If you have any connection to the grid, you're not alternative. Hate to break it to you. Stop acting like you're better than everyone else. Like, literally, the thing is, I don't claim to be alternative. I don't claim to be goth. I don't claim to be emo. I don't claim to be punk because I'm not. I'm fucking not. Those were movements that started long ago. What I do claim, I do what I can to repair the planet little by little. I do what I can in any way that I can to be better than I was yesterday. I do what I can to make my impact as small as I can, but I'm still realistic about my fucking life. And I still want to live my life and not have to go and every which way around it. If I want to go on a road trip, I'm going to have a car. I'm going to have to use gas in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to have to take a train or a bus or a car or a bike. All of those things have their own environmental impact. You have to be fucking realistic. If you've ever been on a plane, you have contributed to global warming. If you listen to music, you contribute to global warming. If you have a cell phone, you contribute to global warming. You contribute to pollution. If you do not actively pick up every single piece of trash you have ever seen in your entire life, how could you say you really care about the environment? How could you say, oh yeah, fast fashion is the biggest fucking problem because it pollutes the planet? Well, what are you doing to stop the pollution? You want to care about the planet so fucking bad? Okay, then do something about it. Okay, then do something about it. How many pieces of trash did you personally collect last year? None? How many cigarette butts did you flick out of your window last year? Interesting. You want to be goth so fucking bad? Oh yeah, you care about the planet? Right. As you eat your burger? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, you're not vegan? But you say you're goth? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me because you care about the environment so fucking bad. Right. Did you know that the meat industry contributes to approximately 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions annually and 32% of the methane production worldwide? Worldwide, consumption of pork, beef, poultry, and other livestock is projected to reach over 500 million tonnes by 2050, double what it was in 2000. Globally, agriculture companies occupy about half of the world's habitable land. Half of land is for growing animals for us to eat. You say you care about the environment, but you still eat fast food. Oh, just not fast fashion, but fast food is fine. Right, right, because we're selective with being alternative. Yeah. Uh-huh. No, I get it. No, I get it. You care so bad, but you need Taco Bell. And this is why we shouldn't judge each other. This is why we shouldn't fucking put each other down because of the state of the world that we live in. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my personal fault that these things exist. Whatever. So, in half of the world's habitable land, nearly 80% of that is devoted to livestock. Mhm. Large areas of pasture and feed cropland replace native ecosystems that would otherwise store carbon. So instead of trees and having breathable land, we're like, no, I want a burger, I want steak, I want ribs. Transitioning that land back to natural vegetation would unlock massive carbon gains through biomass recovery. These are just facts. I am not telling anyone that a diet they need to go on. I'm saying if you did reduce your red meat intake, you would be help healing the planet. That's all. You want to care about the planet so fucking bad, quit eating meat. No, you're just going to stop buying from Shein? Right. Okay. Beef and other ruminant meats like lamb, goat, and buffalo have the largest environmental footprint. Ruminants are a type of animal with four-chambered digestive system that allows them to digest tough, fibrous plants, such as grasses, producing methane as a byproduct. A recent inventory of livestock emissions shows that ruminants account for about 80% of livestock methane, a powerful greenhouse gas, even though they're just one slice of the world's diet. Pigs, ch- Pigs and chickens contribute much less methane, and life cycle studies show they also use 8 to 10 times less land per gram of protein than beef. That means shifting even a part of our diets away from beef and lamb toward lower impact meats or plant based proteins can free up land and significantly cut warming pollution. In regions like the Amazon and East Africa, expanding pasture for beef has been a major force behind deforestation and a loss of native wildlife. A 2023 study found that small substitutions within the same food group, for example, swapping high carbon meats for low carbon ones, could reduce the average American's dietary carbon footprint by up to 38%, while also improving overall diet up to 10%. The study suggests that men and adults who tend to have the highest diet related emissions would offer the biggest climate benefit from making these changes. So if you really, really care about the environment, you wouldn't be eating meat. You wouldn't own shoes. You wouldn't buy clothes. You wouldn't have a house. You wouldn't have a car. You wouldn't smoke cigarettes. You wouldn't drink alcohol. You wouldn't even eat imported foods because, by the way, most foods imported from other countries were from slave labor. No, you wouldn't even have anything delivered to your fucking house. Like, if you really cared about the environment. But you don't. You want to hop on a trend because you think that it's going to make you look morally superior than the next fucking person because you have more money than them and because you have so many followers and you want attention on social media. So you're going to tell everyone else that they're pieces of shit so that way you make yourself look better because you can't stand yourself otherwise. Moving on, eating dairy. Producing a single kilogram of milk requires an average of 1,360 liters of water. The vast majority of that, roughly 87%, goes to growing feed crops for the cows rather than drinking water or farm operations. So basically, it's a big fucking waste. Basically, it's a big fucking waste. You want to act like you care about the environment so fucking bad, but you don't. Like, you literally don't. If you did, you wouldn't have a single piece of plastic or glass in your house at all. You would make everything by hand, but you don't care that bad. You only care to the extent that makes you look good. You only care to the extent that, or you know what? You only care to the extent that you can. We're all here doing our best. This world is fucked. Just do your best. I am no better than the next fucking guy. The only thing is, I don't eat fast food because it's shit, you know? But the thing is, some families can't afford to not. So it's like, I'm not going to bash on other people for that choice that they made. What I'm going to do is my part. I'm going to give to charities and organizations because I do have the money, because I am privileged to have the money to do that. I give a part of my paycheck regularly to different organizations that do different goods in the world, whether that's human rights, animal rights, or whether that's environmental change or the political change. I'm giving to organizations. I'm voting with my money, which, by the way, doesn't make me better. It doesn't mean I'm better, but it means that because I'm capable of making change, I focus on making change instead of bashing others and putting everyone down for existing the same way that I'm existing, which is, again, just doing our fucking best and trying to live our life. Humans by nature are focused on ourselves. We are self-centered things. So if you have any ounce of caring for anything else, if you have any amount of empathy in you, of course you're going to want to make change. But the world is so fucking big, it's impossible to change it all. So you do what you fucking can. You don't vilify people. Stop vilifying people because they're not as good as you. You sound narcissistic as fuck. You sound toxic as fuck. No one is going to want to be around you if you think that you're better than everyone else. But that's not even the issue here. The issue here is that you want to preach something but can't back it up with facts. You're out here saying, oh yeah, fast fashion's bad. Yeah, it's bad. So is everything else, though. So is everything else. So if it's really so bad, which it is, I need you to prove all of the ways that you have personally bettered the environment. Because you are so much better than people who shop in anywhere that has ever used slave labor. Because you are morally superior. Because you are a divine being who has never done any harm. I need you to prove with receipts that you have never done any harm in your entire life and that you actively have found the key to living non-violently on our planet. And if you can't do that, I need you to shut the fuck up. Yeah, because you look real stupid and you're really annoying. You look real dumb. You pretend that you care about the environment for likes on social media, which thus harms the environment because it's funded with battery and electricities. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. If you are so much better, why don't you just educate people instead? If you have found the key to life, why don't you share it? If you have all the answers onto what being goth actually is, what being alternative actually is, and what being whatever actually means, why don't you just educate people? Why are you so focused on telling everyone what they're not instead of telling them what they could be? Why are you so focused on bringing everyone down instead of lifting each other up? I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a communist and a socialist to see that, but I don't fucking get it. I mean, I don't get it. So explain it to me. Why does gatekeeping being goth make you better? I have seen so many videos recently on goth people being like, oh, you can't be goth if you blah, 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 blah. And while I agree with you, why don't you tell me who can be? Why don't you tell me who genuinely can be? And then see if those rules still apply to you. Because, we're all in agreement here. You can't be alternative if you're a bigot, a zealot, a Zionist, a fucking xenophobe, a kid diddler, a white collar. Well, if you're rich, if you're privileged, but then it's like, where's the fucking line? My rich is not the same as someone else's rich. Like, I have more money, which is why I give it to charities, which is also why I travel, because I have the money to do so. Does that make me bad that I used my station in life to get where I want to go while also still helping others in the ways that I can? Does that make me bad? Would you rather I have nothing and be on the streets addicted to drugs? Would you rather that? Oh, then I am alternative. Oh, yeah, because drugs are environmentally friendly. Right. I forgot. Because we care about the environment so fucking bad. That's the real issue here. No. You want to use your elitist, privileged asshole, TikTok famous ass bullshit, and you want to act like you are the end all be all of all things alternative when you're fucking not. You've been at this, what, 5 years? What about all the old heads? They don't even have social media because they don't give a shit about that. It's about the music, it's about political change, it's about activism. It's not about how many safety pins are on your stupid jacket. It's not how many patches you have on your pants. It's who you are as a person and what you actively do to benefit the world. And it's about how you live your life. It's a lifestyle. It's not an aesthetic. It's not the music. It's a lifestyle. Oh my fucking God, do we really have to spell it out? We want to gatekeep it so bad. And you know what? It, by default, is already a gatekept community. People want to fetishize it, and we can agree that is bad. That is gross. Let's not do that. But I'm specifically talking to the people here who are getting on their high horse and telling everyone else that they can't be alternative because they shop at H&M. And I'm like, yo, that might be the only store in their area, by the way. They might be 15 and not able to express themselves at home. So they went out with their friends one day and they shopped where they fucking could. And maybe they didn't know. It's not their fault that the company is bad. Not everyone has the knowledge. So instead of beating people up, maybe just educate them. Maybe just show them the way. Like, it really doesn't have to be an ugly competition on who's more alternative and who's more in the scene. But that's what you're making it. That's what these people online are making it. They're making it out to be this like disgusting cult of who's more goth and who's more alternative. That's not the fucking vibe. That's never been the vibe, actually. The vibe has always been inclusivity, because it's all the people that when I go out in my small town, people look at me like I'm the demon. People look at me like I'm the devil and that I'm going to hell because I have fake red hair and I wear all black. People look at me like I'm the problem when they're the ones voting for politicians that don't give them rights because they're stupid. So being alternative is opposing oppression, opposing oppressors, and standing up for the rights of everyone. It's about including everyone and doing what you think is best for humanity. That might look different to everyone, but you have to understand people have jobs. They have to survive. They have to eat. They have to have happiness, which means Yeah, maybe convenience from time to time. Maybe they forget their fucking reusable bags from the grocery store. They're not evil for not being perfect. You really want to gatekeep being alternative, then you should really be living the values that you're trying so hard to keep to yourself, but you're not. And that's who I'm speaking to. That's who I have a problem with. If you're the type of person who's like not really attached to the label, but you use it to describe yourself, you're fine. You're fine. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the idiots online who don't actually live what they're trying to preach. They're hypocrites. And that's who I'm talking to. People who look alternative, they were cast aside by everyone else for being different, which means that they know what it's like to have no one else and they know what it's like to receive hate. They also know what it's like to face ignorance and still show up as themselves authentically. They know what it's like to be brave and courageous, to dress how they want, say what they want, do what they think is right, and be themselves. Being alternative by default is rooted in your own self definition of what that means. It is not a one size fits all lifestyle for everyone. I'm alternative in my definition of the word. I first rely on herbs and then I use Western medicine. And that's how I'm alternative because I'm using what I can to be self sufficient before I rely on the man, you know? But I don't negate the science behind certain medications either because I'm also a part of the world, you know? Like, so by my own terms, I live an alternative lifestyle because I don't believe that you're damned to go to hell if you don't believe in what I believe in. I am alternative because I sign petitions, I phone my mayors, I write letters to my government, I give to charities, I volunteer at organizations, I pick up litter in my neighborhood, and I make my own clothes, and I only thrift because I don't want to contribute to creating more waste. I recycle and I forage for plants. That's the ways that I'm alternative. But we want to gatekeep it so fucking bad. I really think you need to look at yourself and ask yourself why you feel like other people don't belong in something that's built for belonging. Being alternative is meant to bring us together about people who genuinely care about the same things. So if you don't genuinely care about the same things, then no, you're not a part of it either. If you're still doing any of these things, but you want to claim your alternative, maybe you have a different definition from that I do, and maybe that's okay. Maybe we can still come together and work together as people to create a better society nonetheless, despite our differences. That's the thing. I'm trying to work with people despite our differences. Your only focus is the differences. I'm not focused on the fact that I'm vegetarian and you're not. I'm focused on how am I going to treat you as a human being because behind closed doors, we're free to make our own choices and I cannot stop you. But if you genuinely are on the same page with me, that's great. And if you're not, I still love you anyway. I still have love for you anyway. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm better than you. All I'm going to do is surround myself with people that I like. And no, that does not include racists or homophobes or bigots or whatever. It includes people that I can relate to and have a good time and who we have mutual respect. But of course, we're going to have different lifestyles because we're different individuals, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Not everyone is going to live the same as you. Not everyone is going to want the same things as you. Not everyone is going to be on the same page as you. You can't stop people from living how they want to live. You can't stop people from making choices they want to make and saying dumb shit. But you want to gatekeep being alternative so fucking bad. You're literally you're literally being a hypocrite if it's not for the right things. Like, we can all agree You can't call yourself alternative if you're like a bigot at heart. We can all agree on that. But you really need to look at people's lifestyle and the choices that they're making and why they're making those choices. You need to get to know someone as a person before you can declare if they're part of your fucking club or not. And like, again, I'm not goth. I'm not alternative. I'm not fucking punk. I'm not fucking emo. I'm not scene. I'm not any of that shit. I am myself and I exist and I dress how I want to dress and I listen to the music I want to listen to. And I eat the food I want to fucking eat or can afford to eat, okay? Because in this world, it's not you versus me, it's us versus them, and them being the 1%. And we're all kind of fucked. So we should stop hating each other and we should start coming together. Maybe I'm just a hippie. Ooh, maybe I just have a little too much love in my heart than you fucking TikTok goths who want to be mommy so bad, which by the way, the real goth community does not claim you. The real goth community also has a problem with you. Just by the way, if in case you forgot, you becoming goth in 2020 when it was fucking cool does not actually make you a credible member of the scene. Just by the way, it doesn't. Because there are old heads who've been doing this shit for longer than you've been alive. You really can't claim that you're the end all be all of all things alternative if you were born in the 2000s. I'm gonna just be so fucking real. So anyway, I'm gonna leave a list of organizations, charities, nonprofits that are good to donate to. If you genuinely cared about the environment like you have been preaching, then you will check those out and you will give money since you have so much of it to be telling people where they can and can't shop. Okay, goodbye.